via PCT. You know, this hike has easily become one of my favorites to do in Mount Laguna. As usual, we'll cut to the B-roll, we'll come back, we'll talk about where to park, how to get there, what the trail is like, and then at the very end, I'll show you guys some additional photos and just talk a little bit about why this has become one of my favorite spots to practice landscape photography in. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about Monument Peak via PCT. Let's get through the basics. Hiking distance, 5.3 miles. The gain in elevation is 770 feet. Route type, out and back. Yes, dogs are allowed. Obviously, most trails in Mount Laguna are still closed, and I did this hike a couple months back. So just keep that in mind. I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about this review because I think it does a really good job of describing the trail. And it's the same thing that I did. So when we got there, we parked at the Desert View picnic area. You sort of go straight from the bathrooms and you'll find a little trail, and that's what you'll follow. You'll eventually see the little PCT sign and you'll continue on to that. Pretty pleasant, you know, it's very pretty views, nothing too difficult. There's a part at the end, and I love this line here, it's comical how overgrown it is. There's a part at the end where it looks like the trail splits and it looks like you have to make a left, but you're actually supposed to go straight and it looks very narrow. You'll get through that and then you're kind of just squeezing through this manzanita, bushes, and those things are sharp. You'll bushwhack for a while before getting to a more clear and exposed trail. You'll head right towards the green trailer surrounded by chain link fence. Go left of those to find a road, and then the road will take you all the way to the top to where the towers are. So be on the lookout for that. You know, the whole hike is really pleasant except for the very end when it gets just really tight and you got to squeeze through a few parts. And as I mentioned at the beginning, this is Monument Peak via PCT, and there's actually a lot of different ways you can get to Monument Peak. So when you start at the desert camp, and I'll show you guys here a picture of Sunrise Highway, you'll look to your right and you'll see the campground entrance. You'll go in there, and then there's a little trail here that sort of starts hidden. But when you start, you can see here, right, you go through, you get to Monument Peak. You could have started out at where you park for Foster Point and head your way over here. You could have started out at any of these two locations where you kind of pull over and there's just space for about 4 to 6 cars to park. I mean, you could have started at the beginning of the day over here at the beginning of Sunrise Highway and Big Laguna Trail and just made your way all the way to Monument Peak. So there's so many different ways to get to it. Again, a lot of these trails are closed, but some of them are open now. So I would just encourage you to check the Cleveland National Forest website and make sure that wherever you're going is open, that wherever you're going is open. So as I mentioned, overall the hike is very enjoyable. It goes up and down a little bit, but it's nothing too difficult. I did this with my kid, strapped on my back. The very top of this is why it's a special place. Obviously having the towers there is not that enjoyable. And when I went was a little bit before sunset. And what I found again was, as many places in Mount Laguna, you get some amazing colors on the forest side. You get these sharp greens, these reds, these yellows. And then because the sun, right, the sun rays are going in multiple directions, but they hit as a line. They don't then hit the bottom of the 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐷 Desert. So you get this really cool blue line, blue, purple. It's just really, really amazing out there. So what I did was, sometime later after hiking this, I went back and I hiked it for sunrise. So I hiked in the dark with a couple friends. We got to the top and I was blown away by just how absolutely beautiful it was up there and how peaceful it is up there. You know, when the sun is rising, to see the lights from 𝐿, the Salton Sea just has this, you know, this spark to it because the light's just hitting it in the morning and it's coming from that side. And then it gets to a point where it gets a little bit higher and now it's hitting the forest and it's hitting the hills, and some parts are lit up and some parts are not. It is absolutely beautiful. So I can tell you that I would definitely recommend that you check out Monument Peak, especially if you can do it for a sunset. I guarantee you those views will leave you absolutely breathless. And be on the lookout for more photos, because I definitely plan on going back to Monument Peak to practice landscape photography from a sunrise and sunset perspective. With that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, make sure you follow me on Instagram. We just hit over 1,000 subscribers. I'm ecstatic and so grateful. And also on the YouTube channel, as we're trying to grow. The main goal here is to encourage people, especially people in San Diego that are 45 minutes to an hour away from this. Go check these places out. Man, they are absolutely gorgeous. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon.